Okay, so for the biomechanics and good form running, the goal is to move as efficiently as possible, and this will turn into the speed that you're going. So the speed that you run, to make it either easier to run that speed or actually to increase the speed with the same energy output. Then to stay injury-free with the proper form. Okay, so what I want to do before we get started on posture, cadence, things like that, I want to give a concept of how muscles work with and against one another. Okay, so if I take my arm and I pull it up this way, which muscle is contracting? Bicep. Which one is elongating against it? Tricep. Okay, so if I have excessive tightness in my tricep, what muscle works harder to contract? The bicep is actually going to be working against that, and I see a lot of overuse injuries coming from certain muscle groups, especially the hip flexor, the muscle that basically moves the leg up, from excessive tightness in the glutes and hamstrings. So whenever we think about biomechanics, we think about, okay, my arm wants to swing in this direction from the joint, but also we have muscle groups that pull and contract and release, and everything is coordinated all in together with one another. So with that coordination, I get a lot of new runners coming in and they're like, this most simple question, how do I run and breathe? And it's actually a coordination. I am breathing, I have a certain cadence that I'm starting to run I'm not used to, my arms are swinging, my heart rate is continually going up until it hits a peak and I feel like I want to throw up. Everything is changing, my pace is changing, so it is more so practice and continue to practice, and then your body will dial in and remember this coordination, that muscle memory. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is talk about posture. So the upper body, if your posture is proper on your upper body, it is going to translate to your legs. So when you're running, unless you're on trail, which sometimes on trail you need to look ahead to see where your next footsteps are going to go, try to look as forward as possible. And I want everyone to do this. This is called a posture reset. Put your arms down to your side, bring them all the way up over your head, back to your side. Now your shoulders are where they're supposed to be. Now I want you to leave your shoulders where they're at and bring your arms to your side. So this is the posture forward. You're looking ahead. Your shoulders are square. This is a posture that you would like to be running. So whenever you're out and you're exercising, doing a posture reset in the run, because a lot of times you'll end up leaning forward and kind of hunching in. Reset the posture, come back in the arms. Okay, now what are my arms supposed to do? All right, so we talked about the bicep and the tricep. I want to give a concept of efficiency now, okay, before we kind of talk about the arm swing. All right, so swing your arms like this. Take one arm and extend it. Which arm got harder to move? The extended arm. Okay, so now if you go really high up, yeah, this is a little bit easier and more efficient, but now we're starting to work against muscle groups. So arm, 90-degree angle, and then slightly up or in that 90-degree range, just like this. So now we do our posture reset. We have about a 90-degree, maybe slightly higher. Now the arms move. And guess what? They're not crossing like this in this posture. When you start to fatigue with running, you'll notice people tend to lean forward. Their arms start to cross. There's a center line here. If the arms cross that center line, it is going to translate to the legs. It's going to fatigue the core. It's going to cause the knees to start deviating in and out across. So remember, the direction your arms and fists are moving are the direction your legs are going to want to move. Also, if you pump your arms faster, your legs are going to want to move faster as well. Your heart rate might increase, but the actual overall muscular workload is going to decrease, just like picking up a large brick or a bunch of small bricks. Sure, I'm going to move faster, but I can do this much more than 10 of those, and then I'm done. Okay, great. So what we're going to talk about now is cadence, getting into workload. your cadence can increase without your speed increasing. And the reason for increasing cadence is to reduce workload and distribute impact stress coming from a hard surface, the ground. Okay, so 160 to 170 cadence is what typically people will tend to do. Really, what's going to be the most efficient is that 172 to 180. Does anyone have a metronome app? Posture reset. Get your arms where they want. Everybody's looking good. How'd that feel? Keep going. Make sure you're swinging those arms in the direction you would like your legs to move forward. Great, perfect. Let's stop. Thank you, Brad. Okay, so positioning when moving forward, when to contact on the foot. All right, so here is what you want to do, and something that you're going to also remember and try to coordinate in. Go up on the balls of your feet, not as high as you can go, and then I want you to lean forward until you step. And about right there is going to be your forward lean when you're running. So go up on the balls, lean forward. Give yourself some space. If you need to take some steps, up and lean.
Are you saying the foot we land with is how it should be, or where our toes
When you start to lean to step, that is going to be the lean that you are running. So not the step, the point to where you get up and you become off balance there. You don't have much running room. Up, forward. All right. Last thing before we go out and we practice, we're going to do a recap. We're going to talk about the most inefficient part of the stride. It is the point to where the knee and the weight on the knee passes straight over top of the foot. That's when the foot has the most ability to pronate, flex, or move, which could cause the knee to deviate. So with the proper form and lean foot contact, we don't want to necessarily heel strike because we're going completely through that range. We want to mid to forefoot strike at a higher cadence that's going to reduce that ability for the foot to pronate. Any questions so far?
So you're saying don't hit with your heel. You're not aiming to put your heel down first.
Right. So whenever we come up, we lean forward. Mid-foot contact. With a higher cadence and the same speed you're moving, it's going to be harder to contact with your heel first. Now, obviously, the faster you run to be able to, whenever you stride out really far, so say like in a sprint, actually in a sprint you're still going to be 4 foot, maybe 800 meter, you're going to be at a point where that heel is coming first, but still contacting midfoot to forefoot is going to distribute the weight a little bit more evenly on strike and reduce that middle of the foot pressure that you're going to get where there could be an inefficiency in the stride. Everybody feel good about it? Everybody warm? We're going to go out and do it?